NBA players have a very extra life filled with multi-million-dollar homes, fancy cars, and all the amenities that your heart could ever imagine. They have rich lives, both literally and metaphorically speaking. With all this privilege also comes the cons of rudeness and utter disregard for others that we often see in a lot of NBA players. But it's not all bad. There are some good people out there too. So here are some of the most humble NBA players, starting with Allen Iverson. In the NBA, Allen Iverson was considered to be among the best passers and scorers of all time. A 14-year NBA veteran, he was known as The Answer and AI for his ability to play both shooting guard and point guard. He was named the NBA's Rookie of the Year in 1997 and went on to become an NBA All-Star 11 times, was named MVP of the NBA All-Star Game in 2001 and 2005, and was also given the title of NBA's Most Valuable Player in 2001. The year 2016 saw his induction into the NICEST Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. He was also a member of the NBA's 75th anniversary team. He was given the honor in October of 2021. Iverson, however, did not have an easy childhood. Anne, his mother, was just 15 when he was born, and he never knew his father. Also, when he was 13, he saw a father figure's arrest for drug sales, so it was all very shaky. In addition, Iverson was taken into custody for a bowling alley incident in 1993. He was just 17 years old at the time, but the court treated him as an adult when it handed down the criminal conviction for mob-related mutilation. The allegations against him focused on an alleged attack on a female victim. After spending 4 months in jail for the brawl, footage surfaced proving that Iverson had already left the bowling alley when police arrived. Next up, Steph Curry. Steph Curry keeps his feet firmly on the ground despite his team's current dominance in the NBA, and the fact that he grew up in a basketball family and has apparently always been destined for success. Regardless of his status as one of the NBA's all-time great shooters, Curry didn't think twice about bringing Kevin Durant to the team in the summer of 2016, even if it meant he'd have to take a backseat to KD. While playing out a 4-year, $44 million agreement, Curry was earning far less than a typical NBA superstar would, which allowed him to put his ego aside before KD came. In early 2017, he made a beautiful statement. "One thing my pops always told me is you never count another man's money." Curry said, "It's what you got and how you take care of it. And if I'm complaining about $44 million over 4 years, then I've got other issues in my life." Needless to say, Curry deserves the maximum 5-year deal that the Warriors gave him last summer. Even if you're sick of Golden State's dominance in the NBA, you still have a hard time hating Curry. Not to forget Kawhi Leonard. He's widely considered to be among the best 3 players in the NBA right now. Kawhi Leonard has been called an even greater player than Kevin Durant by some. However, for the oddest of reasons, he has just gained widespread fame. Even though the Spurs and their medical team have cleared Leonard to play, many people, including a big chunk of the Spurs organization, feel that Leonard elected to take a year off except for 9 games for medical reasons. Kawhi is normally a low-profile man, so the current situation is puzzling. Yes, he's one of the finest basketball players in the world, but he doesn't appear to like being the center of attention, unlike the overwhelming majority of his peers. He's not the kind to constantly put himself in the spotlight for publicity purposes. In fact, if journalists are serious about interviewing Leonard, they need to track him down and block any escape routes. That's why he's considered one of the most modest and humble NBA stars right now for sure. One may go so far as to call him one of the most modest athletes of all time. Following up, Tim Duncan. When playing for the San Antonio Spurs, Duncan was frequently criticized for being dull, since he seldom gave interviews that might be used as gossip for his opponent's bulletin boards. He maintained his high level of play for 19 years, focusing on the fundamentals of the game rather than flashy moves like dunks. Along the way, Duncan was able to gain the admiration of his peers because of his dedication to the court, his loyalty to his teammates, and his gratitude for the opportunity to play in the NBA. Even though he's widely considered to be one of the 5 best centers in the NBA history and the greatest power forward of all time, he announced his retirement through a press release. He didn't even want a farewell tour that lasts all season. He didn't even bother to show up to the press conference when the Spurs broke the news of his retirement. In the words of Wall Street Journal writer Jason Gay, Duncan was a humble legend because he put the team's success before his own and because he knew that individual accolades were meaningless in the context of collaboration. It's likely that Duncan's Hall of Fame acceptance speech will be the shortest in NBA history, given his reluctance to the limelight. Not to forget Nikola Jokic. Currently, Nikola Jokic is regarded as one of the NBA's elite players. Better known by his nickname, the Joker, was picked up by the Denver Nuggets in the second round of the 2014 NBA draft. He's a center with the Nuggets, and he's Serbian. He has won the NBA MVP award in both the 2020-2021 and 2021-2022 seasons, and he's been selected as an NBA All-Star a total of 4 times, and despite all this, he's still very down to earth. Sombor, Serbia is the place of Nikola Jokic's birth. There, he and his 2 brothers, parents, and grandmother shared a small 2-bedroom apartment, which could be a reason for his modesty. Next, Mike Conley Jr. Mike Conley Jr. now plays for the Utah Jazz of the NBA. Conley was the 4th 4th overall choice in the 2007 NBA draft by the Memphis Grizzlies. He spent 12 seasons with the Grizzlies, during which time he became the franchise's all-time top scorer. Our star attended Lawrence North High School in Indianapolis, where he was a star basketball player. At the school, he even coached the basketball team to 3 straight titles with a record of 103-7. Conley made the Buckeyes his college destination after graduating high school, and he was instrumental in leading his team to the national title game. If the Ohio State Buckeyes were to lose against the Florida Gators, Conley would be immediately eligible for the NBA. Even after all of this, he's one of the most humble players out there. Then, there's Giannis Antetokounmpo. Perhaps one of the most modest NBA players right now is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a basketball player from Greece who now represents the NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis, sometimes known as the Greek Freak, was born to Nigerian immigrants in Athens. His parents had a hard time finding employment in Greece since they were foreign nationals, so he and his siblings made a living peddling wares on the streets of Athens. And because of this, despite the fact that Giannis and his brothers and sisters were born in Greece, they did not immediately acquire Greek citizenship. This rendered him effectively stateless, with no official documentation in either Greece or Nigeria. But in 2007, at the age of 13, he picked up a basketball and never looked back. Giannis is a natural talent, and the Milwaukee Bucks picked him up with the 15th pick overall in the 2013 NBA draft. Antetokounmpo is one of the NBA's most decorated players, having earned back-to-back NBA MVP awards in 2019 and 2020. He's one of just 3 players in NBA history to win 2 MVPs before turning 26. The others are Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and LeBron James. And finally, LeBron. Without LeBron James, this is not a comprehensive list. Critics of the King may argue that he brags to the press and displays his skills on the court, but we challenge them to provide examples. For everything that a role model should be, look no further than LeBron James. Any parent who has heard their son express that he wants to be like LeBron James when he grows up may rest comfortably. LeBron is someone who comes from extremely modest means and has never lost sight of his roots. And maybe, most significantly, he never neglected his responsibility to give back to his neighborhood. The number of Akron students who were able to put themselves and their families through college thanks to scholarships provided by LeBron James is too high to count on your fingers. He's a model leader, not just away from the basketball court, but on it as well. Nobody will ever say anything harsh about LeBron James's character, even if he is widely considered the second best basketball player of all time. Simply said, he's a nice human being. And that's a wrap for this video. Which of these players do you think is the most humble? Do you think we missed out on anyone? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos just like this. We'll see you in the next one.